Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today in the second session of the special online seminar entitled 20 Years of the 2003 Convention, Retrospect and Prospect. My name is Kanami Namiki, an Associate Fellow of IRCI. I will be your MC today. This special online seminar is organized on the occasion of the 20th anniversary of the Convention for the Safeguarding of the Intangible Cultural Heritage, and this is a part of the seminar series of IRCI's Asia Pacific Research Forum for ICH Safeguarding, a platform that has been established by IRCI to promote research and international cooperation in the Asia Pacific region. The seminar consists of two sessions. The first session that we had last week addressed the theme of advancement of the safeguarding of ICH, the 2003 Convention and beyond. Today's second session will feature dialogue with the bearers of ICH elements on the list of the convention. With practitioners and experts of intangible cultural heritage or ICH elements that have been inscribed on the list, the session will look into their on-the-ground experiences on the nomination process and safeguarding effort after the inscription. Today, we have practitioners and experts of Baul songs in Bangladesh and Vanuatu Sandu drawings inscribed on the representative list, Falconry, a multinational ICH element inscribed on the representative list, and traditional folk dance Biyelgee and folk long performance technique of Limbe in Mongolia that are on the urgent safeguarding list. Each group presentation will proceed in a format of conversation or dialogue between the moderator and each group. At the beginning of each group presentation, a short video or a short live performance will be shown to introduce the ICH elements. Questions from the online participants will be answered after all the presentations and discussion among presenters are done. I'm inviting today's moderator, Ms. Ritu Sethi, the chairperson of Craft Revival Trust in India. Ms. Sethi, the floor is all yours.
I am Ritu Sethi, editor Global Ink Journal of ICH, the Asia Encyclopedia, and founder trustee Craft Revival Trust. It gives me great pleasure in welcoming you all to the second session of the special online seminars under the umbrella title of 20 years of the 2003 Convention, Retrospect and Prospect. Marking the 20th anniversary of the 2003 Convention for the Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage, we have to thank the Asia Pacific Research Forum of IRCI, the International Research Center for Intangible Cultural Heritage in the Asia Pacific region, a UNESCO Category 2 center, for bringing us together to mark this huge anniversary. In today's seminar, we will travel across Bangladesh, Vanuatu, Mongolia, and Kazakhstan to hear from the bearers, transmitters, stakeholders, and experts of practices and expressions of ICH that have been inscribed on the convention's list. In the seminar, we will reflect on the impact of this inscription. We will be seeking to explore the diverse perspectives and standpoints of the stakeholders, delving into individual experiences, reviewing the changes and impacts post-nomination, and mapping progress and challenges in safeguarding, while we also look to the future. Our first speakers today are from Bangladesh and represent the inscribed element of Baul songs. And we have with us Nurunabai Shanto, researcher in ICH, translator and short fiction writer. We have Shah Alam Devan, practitioner of Baul Sufi songs. We have Sadika Srijoni Tanya, a follower of Baul doctrine and a practitioner of Charyapada. We have Dr. Simon Zakaria, an expert of Baul doctrine and Baul songs. They are from the Bhabanagara Foundation that aims at articulating multidimensional aspects of language, literature, education, and performance that have been done and are ongoing on Bangla language, literature, and culture. But before I pose my first question, we are fortunate enough to have a brief live performance.
Good. Ako para pare dar bambule hamone egiye cholo ako para pare dar bambule hamone egiye cholo kache pabe bodhi tobe keno tumi কাছে পাবে বোধি তবে কেন তুমি দূরে খোঁজো তারে বলো এ ভবন নদী গম্ভীর রেখে বয়ে চলে কোথা যায় এ ভবন নদী গম্ভীর রেখে বয়ে চলে কোথা যায় তোমরা যদি সকল লোকে পারগামী হয়ে থাকো তোমরা যদি সকল লোকে পারগামী হয়ে থাকো অনুত্তর স্বামী চাটিলকে দেখে অনুত্তর স্বামী চাটিলকে দেখে উত্তর জেনে নেবে এ ভব নদী গম্ভীর দেখে বয়ে চলে কোথা যায় এ ভবন নদী গম্ভীর বেগে বয়ে চলে কোথা যায় Dear participants, just a few minutes. This song says that in ascending the connecting breeze, forget left or right. Go ahead. The enlightenment is near. Do not go far. O people, if you should reach the other shore, ask the master of spirit, Chatilapa. So this is the 5th song of Charyapada. Thank you.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Thank you very much. So now on to the questions. My first question is to Dr. Simon Zakaria. Dr. Zakaria, since the element has been inscribed on the representative list, what has changed the most regarding the safeguarding of Baul songs?
Being enlisted in the proclamation of the masterpiece radically encouraged the popularity of Baul songs locally and globally. The upper class youth started to stage Baul songs, but they lack knowledge of Baul sadhana and the tradition of Baul songs. They mixed Western musical instrument in Baul songs performance and destroyed original tunes. On other hand, state institute like Bangladesh Shilpakala Academy mobilized urbanized Baul groups that only focused artificial stage and TV performance, which negatively impact the Baul songs' significance as a tool of sadhana. Thus, a number of urban Baul singers come up who has no respect for traditional manner of Baul songs performance. However, coming across the Baul songs video on UNESCO website, many foreigners like French researcher Deborah Elliott Cookerman got fascinated. Deborah came to Bangladesh and started practicing Baul sadhana under a pure Baul guru Fakir Nohisha. But to tell the truth, there is no significant initiative of safeguarding this world masterpiece. Baul are even still facing socio-religious threats in rapidly changing Bangladeshi society due to contemporary political economy. Climate change and digital boom also made Baul practitioners bound to transform their lifestyle. Yet the real traditional Baul sadhakas are carrying sadhana and Baul songs in their traditional way on.
Thank you, Dr. Zakaria. My next question is to Mr. Shah Alam Devan. Mr. Devan, what would you say was the biggest benefit derived from the inscription of Baul songs?
আসলে বাউলদের কোনো বৈশ্বিক চাহিদা নেই, তবে তাদের জীবন ধারণের জন্য খাদ্য ও সামাজিক নিরাপত্তা প্রয়োজন। ইউনেস্কো কর্তৃক বাউল গান স্বীকৃতি পাওয়ায় এই বাউল ও বাউলদের প্রচার প্রসারণা দ্রুত বেড়েছে, কিন্তু সাধারণ সাধক বাউলদের তেমন কোনো উপকার হয়নি। এতে করে মিডিয়া গ্রুপ প্রতিনিয়ত এই প্রোগ্রামগুলো করছে, তাতে মুখ চেনা কিছু বাউল তাদের আর্থিকভাবে উপকৃত হয়েছে, কিন্তু সাধারণ বাউলদের কোনো উপকারে আসেনি।
He's saying that the Baul do not want any material gain, but they must live on food and other essentials. Because of the inscription of Baul songs on the representative list, the Baul are well known to many people, locally and globally. But if only a few Baul living in urban settings are benefited in the sense of their exposure, in the sense of their economic benefit like this. But the ordinary Sadhuk Bauls are still deprived. Getting on the representative list has not brought any positive change among the ordinary rural Bauls. So, moreover, the political context, religious context of Bangladesh, and of course, the current economic changes of Bangladesh are leaving negative impact on Baul life and, of course, on Baul song.
Thank you. My next question is to Sadika Sironji Tanya. Siri Joni, what challenges have you faced and identified while practicing and transmitting Baul songs? And what would you be needing to overcome them?
Despite of getting on the representative list, Bangladesh does not have policy, framework and local mechanism for the protection of Baul sadhana and Baul song. The orthodox groups are giant threat for the Baul. Moreover, some urban singers and singing Baul song in wrong lyrics and with heavy metal musical instrument. There are also threat for the original fact of the Baul song. There must be policy support, legal framework and financial support to establish free Baul practice center akhara at different districts for protection, practice, transmission, and celebration of Baul song and Baul rituals.
Thank you. Thank you for your answer. My last question is to Mr. Nurunabai B. Shanto. Please, could you share the future plans to revitalize Baul songs in today's increasingly urbanized world?
We are actually sharing our plan, I mean the plan of the Bhavanagara Foundation. We have made the plan long before, It's almost 8 years before. And according to that plan, we are organizing weekly Bhavnagar Sadhu Sangha every Wednesday afternoon in the open ground in Dhaka city. One of our aim of this Sadhu Sangha is to make relationship and linkages between the academician and the practitioners. The practitioners are coming from the surrounding rural areas, and the academicians are coming from different universities, and also the young researchers are joining this Sadhu Sangha. And this is very much we are having 475th Sadhu Sangha this afternoon. I mean today. However, we are also having a program which is we are calling Reviving Choriya Pado. Under this program, we are establishing organizations in different districts of Bangladesh. And all these we are doing voluntarily. We do not have any patronization. The practitioners and the community are contributing to do all these works. We are also we have also plan of preparation and publication of ICH performances, including Baul Shadhok and Baul songs in different districts. We already have published a list of the intangible cultural heritage performers and actors who are working all the districts in Bangladesh, and Bauls are one of them. Another plan we have done, we implemented some of our activities in supporting financially to the poor Baul, specifically in the emergency situation. We did in the recent COVID-19 period, and we have planned to do the same in the upcoming disastrous situations in Bangladesh that happens regularly. And we demonstrate Baul song performance in traditional manner. This is one of our very strong plan, that we do not want to articulate Baul song through loudspeaker or by using the Western musical instrument. We want that people should know Baul song in its own traditional manner, in its original feature. Besides, we have publication. We publish a journal, and the journal, would you show please the journal? And the journal is contributed by the global scholars of different universities who are not Bengali, who are non-Bengali, but they are writing in Bangla. And they are writing about the ICH of Bangladesh, and also about different local languages and the cultural aspects. And we have a plan to publish the UNESCO convention, all of the UNESCO conventions in Bangla language. We already have done the translation work.
And published in Bhavnagar.
Yes, and we have published gradually in this journal, but now I want to publish a book, all of the conventions in the same book. So these are our plans so far, and all these are done with our own initiative. There is no outside contribution. There is no outside financial help. So thank you very much.
Thank you. This was very comprehensive and very interesting to know. And for the audience, we are delighted that there will be another brief live performance. So please do go ahead.
Thank you. So before she's ready, I just like to explain you what song is about. This song is of the Lalon Shai, you know, the most prominent Baul, and we call him the Emperor of Baul. So this song says that people ask if Lalan Fakir is Hindu or Muslim.
No.
Lalon says, I do not know myself. We come and go by the same ferry, which is steered by the same caregiver, the creator. In the world, one class thinks the other class is untouchable, and one class does not accept the food touched by the other class. But the question is, where could people get different kind of waters for different class? Let's see.
Beautiful.
লালন বলে আমার না জানি সন্ধান তবে বলে কালো সখী ডুবি যাব একই ঘাটে আসা যাওয়া একই পাশে খাওয়া একই ঘাটে আসা যাওয়া একই পাশে খাওয়া কেউ খায় না কারো ছোঁয়া জলকে কোথা পায় সবে বলে লালন সখী ডুবি যাব সবে বলে লালন সখী ডুবি যাব
Thank you. That was very moving. Thank you so much. Our next discussion is on the inscription of Vanuatu sand drawings on the representative list. And we have with us Mr. Ira Y. Philippe, Vanuatu Cultural Center member. We have Mr. Edgar Hinje, practitioner. We have Mr. Richard Singh, who is the director of the Vanuatu Cultural Center. And before we start, we have a short video clip on the tradition.
Communication in Vanuatu are always seen in all these things, especially in Bati Uli Uli or sun drawing. So sun drawing all the time, it is our power, identity, it is our richness, and it is only a wealth in Vanuatu. Most tourists in Vanuatu coming here because they come for Vanuatu culture, which is found only here in the whole Vanuatu. Okay. So, the Vanuatu culture is so powerful in many, many things, but above from all, it is only powerful only on three things. One, yes, in Vanuatu we are having clan. Secondly, yes, in Vanuatu we are having tribe. And thirdly, in Vanuatu we are having totems. And our totems in Vanuatu are always the name of our private part that each of us as a human being we are always having with us now. Some of us in Vanuatu, we are calling our private part a deer snake. And that is why most of us today in the whole world, we are always afraid of snake, because snake is our totem, and snake is one of our power in Vanuatu.
Thank you. That was very interesting and made very clear to us what an incredible element it is. So my first question is to Mr. Ira Y. Philippe, where Vanuatu sand drawings were first listed in the Masterpieces Proclamation and incorporated into the representative list at the next stage. How do you think the inscription on the list has contributed to transmitting the practice? And have there been any changes in the process of transmission since its inscription? Mr. Philip, over to you.
Thank you for the question. First of all, I would like to say that the knowledge of the traditional way of passing the knowledge of Sandroin to in the community has been largely disrupted by modern influences. For example, modern education has been one of them, where teacher usually don't teach student at school about the Sandroins. Probably because maybe they don't see the importance of Sandroin in the school. And about the changes in the processing of Sandroin, I think usually I would say yes, we have some changes here in Vanuatu because we usually do Sandroins on the surface of the crown. But here in Port Vila, we display Sandroin on Sandroin boards. So we usually use Sandroin boards to transmit the knowledge of Sandroin to the other children. Whereas in the rural areas where the Sandroin originated, we usually do Sandroin on the surface of the crown.
Thank you. My next question is to Mr. Edgar Hinge. And the question is, what has been the largest benefit to you since the inscription of sand drawings on the representative list? And have you identified challenges in its practice and transmission? And what are your thoughts about what would you require in the future?
Okay, so thank you very much, Juliet. Yes, for me, traditional drawing, it's sort of all the time it brings, it makes riches to us locally and also mainly outside, because it gives us the money, it benefits us in money, how we look after it. And the more we take more tourists coming in, or local people coming in, then we attract more tourists from outside to come over to see what is original in Vanuatu, because it is our own, one of our own, and it is the way how we write, the way how we pass on message. Your story has to be told at the same time. The moment you finish your drawing, you finish your sun drawing, the story too has to be finishing at the same time. It is like the evidence of a history, recorded history, a written language, and that is for both men and women. And it is very interesting in a way that it is almost known like a custom school. While we meet originally at home, then we write in a task. If you arrive to your village, then your house becomes our classroom. When you come to my house, then my house becomes our school. We meet under the very big banyan tree or any tree, as long as we got lots of dust, then the tree becomes our school or classroom. Wherever we meet in the sand beaches, then the sand beaches become our school. It's a movable school. So to me, yes, it helps us a lot in a way to promote Vanuatu and to recognize us as one of a very special thing, because it is the advancement of advancing our smarter thinking people. When we write, but we are here, but we are already over there. When we are there, then we come back to here. So it means it developed much about mathematics, because we are using mathematics in it. and everything I found there in our writing. Apart from that, about the future of a drawing, yes, slowly on we're documenting. We're starting to be writing books because shortly, we're now on the new generation, they are no longer interested in. So we have to document and we put them in boards and we do whatever way that we think it should be always alive. And also we teach our schools, our children in schools, next generation, so that it should be always a living culture. Because a living culture is something that we transmit from generation to generation. That it is, we believe that it will never die. So in the future time, we believe that this is the way how it will contribute in many, many ways to support or to promote Vanuatu on its own.
Thank you. That was a very comprehensive answer. My next question was actually for Mr. Richard Shrink, but I don't know if I know that he had another meeting. So, Mr. Edgar Hinge, may I ask you the question, which is that since the inscription, have any problems related to tourism, to commercialization emerged? And if so, how did you all deal with them?
Okay, and thank you very much indeed for that. Normally, because of institution here with this intellectual right, it talks about to protect our culture in Vanuatu or originality in Vanuatu. So, intellectual right is here. We're talking about the copyright. For sure, it's very hard for us, but somehow we're lucky because we are slowly starting off to protect us in one way or another, to commercialize it, but we have to protect another way so that it will never lose, or maybe many people from other countries will take it somehow, but we have to protect, or we have to follow them in a way that we are watching over it, like all our kids. Wherever they're going, but we have to call them back, come back, because we need you here, and we own you, and everything that belongs to us. We believe that there's always a way to protect our own. But yes, we believe that everybody would like to have it. It's okay, but we have to find a way. But I know it's very hard, but there should be a way to be protected in one way or another.
Thank you. You've given us very thoughtful and comprehensive answers. Thank you very much. Our next discussion now will center on the living heritage of falconry, which is a multinational filing. And we have with us representatives from the Republic of Kazakhstan. We have Ms. Sabira Kulsariva, expert of the Technical Committee of the Republic of Kazakhstan on ICH. And we have Ms. Bagdat Muktekekezi, Vice President of the Kairan Federation, who is a hereditary Petrakuchi. I would request IRCI now to first show us a video clip on the element.
Сразу үйге соқтым да сразу тез алдым. Нақайда 2 күн шықпаған құс қой. 2 күн шыққан кезде кеше вообще надо.
хорошо. Вот он, ты смотри, вот видишь, вот, все, пошел.
Thank you. That was really fascinating. So my question now is to Miss Sabira. Okay, my question to you is, first of all, let me compliment you. It was really fascinating, the video clip, and really very interesting. So Ms. Sabira, Falconry is inscribed on the representative list as a multinational file with 24 participating countries. What do you think is the key to success in making such a large nomination possible?
First of all, I would like to greet everyone and thank the organizers for this wonderful seminar. Now I'd like to turn to the questions asked. This multinational nomination has not only enriched our spiritual and cultural lives, but also holds immense potential to stimulate the economic development of countries and foster cross-cultural exchange and understanding. We are aware that putting nomination Falconry on the ICH list is a vital platform for safeguarding, transmitting, protecting, and recognizing intangible cultural heritage. Including this multinational nomination on this list would not only raise awareness and appreciation for traditional falconry worldwide, but also contribute to its long-term sustainable development and preservation for future generations. I think that these nations united and worked for this common objective, convinced that our collective effort shall be pivotal to the successful future of falconry. This nomination is a joint effort of multiple countries invest in preserving the falconry tradition as an element of their culture, and this collaborative nature is a key factor for the nomination's sustainable development. Success as the nomination is quite extensive. Moreover, the convention's main goal is the sustainable development of the world, and we believe the joint nature of multinational nominations is aligned with that objectives. Another factor is that even though people's livelihoods no longer depend on their falconry, hunting still carries a symbolic importance as an identity marker. And of course, this cultural preservation work bears value as all countries are fostering their relationships through this effort. We find it important to add that this effort creates more opportunities for the falcon hunters to expand their network and participate in a growing international community that might entail various networking events such as international competitions, jurying opportunities, and festivals.
Thank you. That was very interesting. Thank you. So my next question now is to Ms. Bhagdat Mukte Keklias. So is she present here? So the question is, what positive impact does the multinational nomination have on safeguarding falconry in your community?
And I will translate the question to Бағдат now. Бағдат, мынандай сұраққа жауап берсеңіз. Сіздің қауымдастыққа кран құстарды қорғау бойынша көп ұлтты номинацияның қандай оң әсері болды?
Енді Қазақстан Республикасының аңшылар қауымы бұрынғы кеңестік кезеңде бұл жоғалып бара жатқан дәстүрлі аңшылықты қайта жаңғыртуға негізінен тарихи отанына мынау Қытай, Монголия, сол мемлекеттерден оралған қазақтардың арқасында және мына ұлттық комитеттің қыран құстар мен аң аулау номинациясына енгенді бері уақытта жаңаша серпін алды деп айтуға болады. Бұл номинацияға қосылуға бұл келісім берудің алдында біз барлық қазақстандықтардың жаңағы аңшылармен хабарласып, ол кісілерге ауызша, жазбаша жиналыстар өткізген болатынбыз. Енді бұл жаңалық әсіресе жастардың арасында өте қызығушылық туғызды және қолдауға ие болды. Және сол жастардың көптеп осы аңшылықпен айналысуына жол ашты деп айтуға болады. Қазақстанның осынау номинацияға қосылуына ауызша және жазбаша түрде келісімдерін алу кезінде барлық аңшылар осыған келісіп толығымен қолдады. Жақында мынау Алматы облысында құсбегілердің 25 жыл бойы үздіксіз өтіп келе жатқан мынау сонар жарысының мерейтойы аталып өтті. Оған өткен жылы құрылған Республикалық құсбегілік федерациясы қоғамдық бірлестігімен біздің тығыз байланыстың арқасында көрермендеріміз бен қатысушыларымыз соңғы кезде көбейіп келеді. Соның арқасында соңғы жылдар Қытай, Монголия, Қырғызстан мен өзге шетелдерден құсбегілер біздің осы жарысымызға көптеп келе бастады.
Енді мен, since the inclusion of the Falconry nomination into the representative list of the ICH, the hunting communities of Kazakhstan experienced a new momentum to maintain and grow the falconry practices. The practice was, of course, nearly lost during the Soviet period and revived mainly due to the Kazakhs repatriating from China and Mongolia after Kazakhstan restored its independence. As soon as the hunting community heard about the application, they became very enthusiastic. More youth joined the community after many new meetings of the hunting associations. The hunting community is incredibly happy about the nomination. The annual falconry competition for 25 years during the hunting season, which starts tomorrow. As usual, we expect guests from China, Mongolia, Kyrgyzstan, and hopefully even more countries in the future. Thanks to a falconry community organization named Kuzbegilik Federation, founded last year, the number of spectators and participants has grown.
Thank you. That is very heartening to know. My next question is addressed to both of you, and that is on, do you have any thoughts on how to further utilize the network of participating countries to enhance the safeguarding of falconry?
We hope the network of the participating countries will provide hunters with new opportunities, such as craft or scientific conferences and fairs to exchange experiences and research and development findings in crafting various hunting equipment. Like eagle carrying gloves, hunting bags, bird blinder caps, etc. The other opportunity we're expecting for the hunters is invited to the international falconry competitions as both participants and jurors. The network could support continuous social exchange between the communities. For example, our Falconry Federation Kran played a role in hosting falcon hunters for the Pan-Asian Falconry Championship of 2017, which invited hunters from 9 countries. We would also like to propose opening a page or group on social media. Such a page would let crafters, hunters, and other members of communities in participating countries learn about events in advance. This would allow for more mobility and increased participation because the members will be able to obtain visas and documentation for transport of the birds.
Thank you.
Thank you for your attention. Yeah. Thank
Very
you.
practical suggestions. Thank you very much. Thank you. So we now move on to Mongolia and start with the Mongol Biyelgee traditional folk dance that is inscribed onto the urgent safeguarding list. Excuse me. On Mongolia, we have 2 traditions which are inscribed that we will be talking about. So the first one is the Biyelgee traditional folk dance. And on this, we will have 3 speakers. The first is Ms. Tesseren Orj Solomon, specialist of ICH in the Ministry of Culture, Mongolia. Ms. Shenen Erden Et Set Seg, scholar. Ms. Jen Den Bear Tai, practitioner, Dolgor Ikel, player. So, but again, before we start, we will see a brief video clip.
Монгол бие биелгээ уламжлалт бүжгийн урлаг. Монгол ардын уламжлалт бүжиг бие биелгээ нь Монголын язгуур урлагийн нэг чухал төрөл бөгөөд Монгол ардын бүжгийн их үндэс юм. Биелгээ нь олон угсаатны бүлгүүдийн хэл, түүх, уламжлал, заншил, дуу хөгжим, үлгэр домог, туйлс, хувцас өмсгөл, тоглоом наадга зэргийг өргөн утга агуулгаар нь өөртөө цогцлон багтааж уламжилдаг. Тэдний амьдрал үйл ажиллагааны өвөрмөц ахуй байдал, ёс заншил, уламжлал, сэтгэлгээний онцлогийг биеийн хөдөлгөөнөөр илэрхийлэх бүжгийн урлаг юм. Монгол ардын биелгээний хөдөлгөөн нь голчлон гэрийн баг зайд захирагдан хагас суулт буюу тахимцах суулт дээр хийгдэх бөгөөд энэ нь гарын атгалт, тавилт, цацалт, цээж, мөрний огцом зохилт, сугсралт, чижиргээ, хөлийн солбилт, алхаа гიშгэ, биеийн гунхалзаж гуйлзах хөдөлгөөн голлох бүжиглэлт болно. Бас газар суугаад урагш бүхийж толгой ба үсийг гэдрэг номорч далба мөрийг газар шүргүүлэн байж гар болон цээжний дээрх хөдөлгөөнүүдийг үзүүлнэ. Ингэхдээ өөрсдийн ахуй байдал, эрхлэх үйл, эр зориг, хайр сэтгэл, бахархалт явдал, морь мала магтан дуурайх гэх мэт олон төрөлтэй хослуулан морин хуур, икэл хуур, товшуур, цуур зэрэг үндэсний хөгжмийн зэмсгүүдийн хөг аялгуунд ясны өвөрмөц хувцас өмсгөлтөөр бүжиглэж бодол сэтгэлээ илэрхийлдэг юм. Бие биелгээг Монгол Улсын засгийн газар яаралтай хамгаалах шаардлагатай соёлын бие тусвын үндэсний бүртгэлийн ардын язгуур урлагийн IRCI-д бүртгэсэн бөгөөд 2009 онд Арабын нэгдсэн Эмират улсын Абу Даби хотод зохион байгуулагдсан ЮНЕСКОгийн соёлын бие тусвын засгийн газар хоорондын хорооны 4-р хурлаар ЮНЕСКОгийн яаралтай хамгаалах шаардлагатай соёлын бие тусвын жагсаалтанд бүртгэсэн.
Thank you. Thank you. My first question is to Ms. Solomon. And could you please tell us the main efforts taken to safeguard Biyelgee, which was in danger of disappearing due to the aging of its practitioners and the lack of young successors?
Thank you so much. So on behalf of my team and also on behalf of the Ministry of Culture, first of all, I would like to express my greatest gratitude to the IRCI for organizing this special seminar. And we are very happy to be attending in this seminar and sharing our experiences. So in 2009, when Biyelgee inscribed on the urgent safeguarding list, there was only 20 practitioners who are practicing with the Biyelgee of 6 different ethnic groups in Mongolia, especially in the western part of Mongolia. And while at that time, the movements and also the melodies and also the customs associated with the Biyelgee all assimilated. And the elders, like all the practitioners, were very old, and the youth, they are somehow they are like lost the narratives and meanings of the Biyelgee. So in that time, researchers and the National Center for Cultural Heritage and also some scholars and researchers, they were focusing on the transmission of this element and safeguarding of this element, and they made a field research on Biyelgee variations and Biyelgee movements and rituals and customs, and they made this nomination file. And yeah, so Miss Scheninger, she was one of the scholars who were working with the field work. So she can just briefly tell us like what was the situation in that time. That actually. Магтагдах эрсдэлд орсон үед хамгаалах зорилгоор авч ирж байсан юм жаа. За сайн байна гэх юм уу. Thank you. Yeah, so she will speak in Mongolian and I will translate into English.
Yes, please.
Biyelgee гэдэг энэ бүжгийн соёл одоо бас устдах аял өртөөд ингээд одоо 2009 онд одоо ЮНЕСКОгийн яралтай хамгаалах хөгжил бүртгэгдсэн. Энээс хойш бас Монгол Улсын засгийн газраас одоо бас олон арга хэмжээнүүдийг авч одоо хэрэгжүүлсэн байна. За энд одоо жишээлбэл Монгол Biyelgee гэдэг одоо хөтөлбөрийг засгийн газраас одоо гаргаж энэний дагуу Biyelgeeg одоо зааж сургах. За бас мөн одоо мэдлэг ойлголтыг түгээх тэр одоо Biyelgee-ний утга учир нь юу юм бэ? Ямар домог зүйтэй холбогдсон юм бэ? Ямар зан үйлийг илэрхийлж байгаа юм бэ гэдэг талаас нь мэдлэг ойлголтыг түгээх ажлыг бол бас эрчимтэй бас хийсэн. Энүүний үр дүнд бол бас одоо анх одоо яаралтай хамгаалах хөгжил бүртгэж ирсэн үеийг бодох юм бол хацсангүй бас одоо өвлөн уламжлагчдын тоо бол өссөн дүнтэй бол байсан. За бас мөн одоо Монгол Улсын одоо засгийн газраас бас одоо энэ ер нь соёлын хувийг хадгалах хамгаалах энэ одоо хуулийн хүрээ дотор бас энэ бит бус үеийн асуудал тэрэн дундаа энэ Монгол Biyelgeeg өвлөөлж уламжлуулах асуудал одоо түгээх одоо асуудал гэх мэт олон асуудлуудыг бас зааж өгсөн нь бас энэ одоо үеийг хадгалж хамгаалахад маш их одоо түлхэс болсон гэж судлаачийн хувьд бол үзэж байна. За гэхдээ одоо ийм дэвшил гарсан боловч яг одоо жинхэнэ язгуур хэв маягаар хадгалах хамгаалах асуудал бас жаахан доголдсон. Юу гэвэл орчин цагийн урлаг, ялангуяа тайзны урлаг руу бас хэлбийг хандлах бас юм одоо бодиттой нүүлж ирсэн. Энээс үүдээд одоо судлаачид одоо энэ бодлогыг одоо барьдаг одоо мэрэгжилтнүүд хамтраад 2018 онд бид бас одоо урдн хийж байсан одоо хээрийн судалгаануудыг одоо баримтан дээр тулгуурлаад одоо ЮНЕСКОгийн соёлын бэх тус буян одоо санд бол энэ Монгол бие биелгээг хөгжүүлж оршин тогтоох чадварыг тодорхойлуулах гэдэг энэ төслийг бичиж өгсөн юм аа. За ингээд баярлалаа. За одоо ингээд энэ одоо 3 жилийн хугацаатай төсөл бол хэрэгжиж байна.
Thank you.
So while that time in 2009, when the Biyelgee was in danger, was in the edge of the endanger, as I said before, scholars and the policymakers and also the practitioners of Biyelgee, they actively involved in the inventory of practitioners. So first, Mongolia has done the inventory on the practitioners and also made the research on the old repertoire of Biyelgee, not only movements, but also the melodies of Biyelgee, because Biyelgee is accompanied with the musical instruments and also the cultural spaces and customs. So in that time, the inventory has done. And then after inscription of Biyelgee in 2009, the government of Mongolia has implemented a national program named Biyelgee for safeguarding this heritage element. It has implemented for 2 years, and government has made a special plan and allocated the budget for it. And as a result of this national program, the Biyelgee practitioners number increased from 20 to almost 400. Yeah. So we made efforts on it and we got the result on it. But there was still problem of assimilation of movements and melodies. So on basis of this previous practice, the government of Mongolia and also the practitioners of the Biyelgee and scholars, we submitted requests for international assistance of ICH fund. And as a result of this, we got the project named Sustaining and transmitting and sustaining the Biyelgee, which is being implemented between 2022 and 2025. So now we are assessing and evaluating the not only the quantitative research, we are also focusing on the quality of the transmission of heritage itself and viability of heritage. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I also want to apologize because I think in my introductory remarks, I forgot to introduce Dolgor, who is a Khil player. So,
yeah. So
thank
here
you.
we have two practitioners of Biyelgee. Miss Bausta, she is a folk dancer and practitioners of Biyelgee of Bayed and Durban ethnic group. So Miss Dolgor, she is a practitioner of Ikhil musical instrument. So if we have time, they also can express their opinion about the after inscription or while inscribing this heritage to the list of urgent safeguarding. What do you think?
Yes, I think if they would like to do so briefly, it would be very interesting to hear from them. So
we can start from Miss Bausta.
Yes, yes, please.
Балтын ойртон 6 нугасаад нь хэдэн зуун жилээр үе дамжин өвдөлтөн үедээ бие биегээ хийсэн. Одоо энэ он одоо бид өнгөрөх тусам хүмүүсийн бас бие биетэйг гэргүй очих одоо мартах тийм одоо асуудалд орсон. Өвгдийн одоо манай Баруун Монголын өвгдийн одоо хадгалж үлдсэн биелгээ нас хүмүүсийн нас нь одоо өндөр болж хорвоогийн мөнхөсийг үзэж одоо тэдний дараа үеийнхэн болоод бас одоо тэр яг язгуур байран зааж байгаа хүмүүс нь ховрдож төрөлсөн байдаг. Ийм учраас би 1995-аас 2023 он хооронд нэлээд олон мянган хүнд заа сургах, зөвлөх энэ ажлыг хийж ирсэн. Шинээр заа сурж байгаа одоо хүмүүс нь бол бас яг тэр үеийг яаж одоо энэ багшаас сурах гэсэн байдлаа манай Монгол хүмүүс бас их чармаад ажиллаж байна. Одоо хэдэн цөөхөн хэдэн хүмүүс одоо энэ үеийг үр хүүхдүүдтэй гэр бүлтэй ингэж хамгаалж хийсээр энэ өнөөдөр хүртэл ингэж өргөжлж одоо алга болохгүй одоо хадгалж авч ирсэн байдаг юм аа. Төөрөө бол энэ 6 угсаатны бие биегээр DVD-CD гаргаж бас олон түмний хүртэл болгосон. 30 жил бие биегээр зааж өгүүлж сургаж их хугацаанд аав ээжийг арталын аргэл аав ээж нэр засгийн газраас бас өдөрт одоо бид бүхэн дэмжлэг тусалцаа үзүүлж хамтарч ажиллаж ирлээ. Бие биегээ ЮНЕСКО-д бүртгэгдснээр бас төсөл хөтөлбөр хэрэгжиж бидний энэ ажил их өндөр хувь нэмэр оруулж таатад одоо хүмүүс сурах эрмэлзэлтэй бидэд одоо заа сургах энэ сайхан өргөдөн сэтгэлээр энэ ажлаа хийж байна. ЮНЕСКО-гийн хамт олон та бүхэндээ бие биелээчд болон Монголын ард түмний өмнөөс баярлсан талархснаа илэрхийлээ. Цаашлаад бас биднийг дэмжиж бидэнтэйгээ цуг ажиллана гэдэгт итгэж найдаж байна. Их баярлалаа.
So thank you so much for inviting me this special online seminar. So as a practitioner of the Biyelgee, I took very special role in the transmission of this heritage element. When Biyelgee is inscribed on the IRCI safeguarding list, the Biyelgee was in setting of very few family. But now, after the inscription, after this 14 years of experience, as I have seen, the Biyelgee came in the local and national attention. Like Biyelgee, all Mongolians, they prefer to learn Biyelgee and they give respect to the Biyelgee. So Ms. Bayta has been transmitting Biyelgee since 1995 until today. So she trained thousands of Biyelgee amateur apprentices, not practitioners. So many of them are still willing to learn Biyelgee more than ever. So inscription on the urgent safeguarding list actually draw the attention of all nationwide and but also the whole humanity. So thank you so much. Yeah.
I have one last question, and that is, what support have you received from the government and related organizations in safeguarding Biyelgee? So would you like to answer that?
Yeah. So as I before mentioned, the national first when Biyelgee inscribed, before inscribing the Biyelgee, the government has done the national inventory and inscribed the Biyelgee in the national list of urgent safeguarding elements. And then we inscribed Biyelgee on the urgent safeguarding list of 2003 convention. On basis of that, we had plans for every 4 years in accordance with the convention and operational directives. So In accordance to this, the government action plan, especially the Ministry of Culture, and while that time the old name was Ministry of Education, Culture, Science and Sports of Mongolia, and while that time the ministry made the plan for safeguarding of these heritage elements inscribed on the urgent safeguarding list. So 6 different national program has developed and also elaborated and implemented for 2 to 4 years. And then later that, as a result of this government national program, number of practitioners increased. And based on that, like different apprenticeship training or competitions, national and international competitions and regional competitions organized. And also besides that, the government has implemented law on protection of cultural heritage. And under law, the supporting system, supporting mechanism also drawn on the law. And based on that, several Biyelgee practitioners, they included in the national list of intangible cultural heritage. So through that, some amount of money, some amount of budget allocated for those practitioners who included in the national list. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. That was wonderful. And I really thank you all for your answers. We will now be moving on to our second element, also from Mongolia, which is on the folk long performance technique of circular breathing by Limbe performers. This too is listed on the urgent safeguarding list to ensure its transmission and stabilizing. On this panel, we have Ms. Solomon again, who is the specialist of ICH in the Ministry of Culture, Mongolia. We have Dr. Tessev Gasser N. Baljar, scholar of traditional musical instruments and president of Mongolian Association of Limbe Performers and a Limbe performer. Before I ask any questions, we are going to briefly see a video on the elements.
Монгол лимбичдийн уртын дуу хөгжимдөх уламжлалт арга барил битүү амьсгаа. Нүүдэлч монголчуудын өв хөгжмийн зэмсгийн нэг нь лимб юм. Монгол лимбийг хатуу мод хулсаар голчлон уралдаг бөгөөд хөндлөн барьж хөгжимддөг. Лимбийн уянгалаг сайхан дуурсэл, битүү амьсгаа, хуруу, хэлний урам жим зохилго, чимэглэл, хөгжимдөх өвөрмөц арга барилаараа Монгол үндэсний хөгжмийн зэмсгүүд дотор онцгой байр суурь эзэлдэг. Монголчууд лимбийг олон зууны турш өвлөн хэрэглэхдээ битүү амьсгаагаар хөгжимдөх өвөрмөц арга барилыг бий болгожээ. Лимбиний битүү амьсгаа нь монголчуудын уламжлалт сэтгэлгээ, уртын дуу, уужим тал нутагтай холбоотой. Монгол лимбиний битүү амьсгаа нь монгол уртын дууны ая ихшиглэнгийн онцлогт бүрэн зөгцсөн. Ялангуяа уртын дууг эхнээс эцсийг хүртэл огт таслахгүйгээр уран гоё аялгуутай, урт сунгар ихшиглүүлэхэд нэн тохиромжтой арга барил юм. Уртын дууг дангаар болон уртын дуучтай ая хамсран тоглодог гол хөгжмийн зэмсгийн нэг нь лимб юм. Лимбчин уртын дууг тоглохдоо заавал битүү амьсгаагаар хөгжимддөг уламжлалтай. Лимб нь уртын дууны уужим тэнүүн айзам, уран тансаг хээ уулзыг төгс илэрхийлж чаддаг. Уртын дуучинд бат түшиг болж, дуучин амьсгаа авч байхад ч дууны ая аялгауг баяжуулж, холбоос чимэглэл хийж, тасралтгүй хөгжимддгөөрөө онцлог. Лимбиний битүү амьсгааг Монгол улсын яралтай хамгаалах шаардлагатай соёлын бие тусвын үндэсний бүртгэлийн ардын язгуур урлагийн айс авд бүрдгсэн 2011 онд Индонез улсын Балид зохион байгуулагдсан ЮНЕСКОгийн соёлын бие тусвын засгийн газар хоорондын хорооны 6 дугаар хурлаар ЮНЕСКОгийн яаралтай хамгаалах шаардлагатай соёлын бие тусвын жагсаалтанд бүртгэсэн.
Thank you. My first question is to Ms. Solomon, that given the significant decline in the number of Limbe practitioners, what kind of programs have you implemented, and to what extent has the number of Limbe practitioners recovered?
Thank you so much. So let me give you brief information, then Mr. Tilksurum will speak more about this. So when Mongolia nominating circular breathing, folklore song performance technique of circular breathing into the UNESCO urgent safeguarding list, there was only 10 practitioners was alive. So the number of practitioners was in decline. So in that time, the apprenticeship training is being conducted. And yeah, so let me invite Mr. Tilsung to talk more about this.
онд яг ЮНЕСКО яаралтай хамгаалах жагсаалт бүртгэл энэ бол 10-аад одоо өглөө боломжтой байсан. Энэ бол 20-р зууны ихэнх мэдээлэлээр бол хүмүүсд найр наадамда тийм энэ өөр өндөө хөгжүүлдэг биегээсээ дагалдан зурцдаг байсан ийм үйл хөдлөлт байж байгаа. Ерөнхийдөө тодорхой одоо шалтгааны нийгмийн одоо энэ үн маань бол боломжлогчд нь багасах ийм бол нөхцөл бүрдсэн байдаг. Тэгээд 11 онд ингэж бүртгэснээр ерөнхийдөө бол энэ одоо иргэцэн орчин одоо бүрдэж ирсэн энэ үеийг одоо хамгаалж бодлож хамгаалж. Тэгээд одоогийн ер нь бол 10 хүрэхгүй үйл боломжтой байсан бол 14 онд 15, 19 онд 40, 23 онд одоо 60 гаруй үйл боломжтой болсон. Хүлээд тодорхой одоо шалтгааны үйл ажиллагаа бас хамгаалтын нөхцөлийг одоо сайжруулсан та юм холбоотой хэлбэлтэй болсон гэж үнэхээр. Ер нь бол ингээд тодорхой хугацаанд саяын хамгаалтын хугацаанд бол тодорхой ажлууд бол хийгдсэн. Энэ өвөн бол нэг тодорхой угсаалтан сэтний өв соёл боломжтой холбоотой биш тийм ээ. За тэгээд өөр хүүхдүүдтэй ингээд тэр бол ингээд өвөлдөд боломжтой үйлчлэггүй. За тэгээд одоо яг хүний нүдэн дээр ил ингээд харагдаад үзэгдээд үлдчих юм ховортой даалт одоо явагддаг. Ийм учраас олон нийтэд одоо энэ мэдээлэл ажлыг өгөх түгээнэлгүй энэ үйл ажиллагааг тодорхой бас нэлийн урт хугацаанд бол явагдсан ордчлогын ажил. За тэгээд ингээд ерөнхийдөө төсөл ЮНЕСКО-гоос аваад за манай одоо Монгол улсаас соёлын үеийг хамгаалах хөтөлбөр хэрэгжүүлснээр бид нар тодорхой одоо хэцүү орчин бүрдээд үйл ажиллагаа ингээд тогтмолж өгсөн. Гэхдээ төрийн тус байгууллага одоо лимбчдийн тэр тухайн одоо лимбчдийн үйл боломжтойчдыг одоо нэгтгэж тийм үү төлөвлөгөө холбох энэ үйл ажиллагаанд нэгтгэх болохоор төрийн тус байгууллага бас их өөртөө байх шаардлагатай. Учраас төрийн тус байгууллагын үйл ажиллагаа бол идэвхжээ. За тэгээд одоо социал хаягт дээр бол өглөө уламжлагчтай бид нэр явж 14 аймгийн 20-аад сундаар явж бидний баримтжуулалт хийж тэдний одоо намтрын түүх одоо соёлын онцлогтой холбоотой ном CD гаргаж хөгжигдсэн уран бүтээлүүдийн CD одоо цомог болгоод яг тэр хөгжсаар байлаар нотлоод ингээд дэлгэрүүлж ирсэн мөнгө хэдэн хүн дээр тодруулж бол нэвтрүүлэг хийсэн байгаа. За тэгээд нэг том ажил болсон нь бол сургалт явагдсан. Ер нь бол одоо энэ өвдөө боломжтой орчин нөхцөлийг хэрэгтэй. Одоо тухайн бүтэц ч юм уу ингээд байх өвдгийн зэмсгийн дуу хахаар янз анхаарч байгаа хүмүүс бол хэцүү учраас энэ одоо орчин хэрэгтэй байсан учраас 10 өвдгийн боломжтой тодруулаад одоо нэг 4 одоо сургалтчдыг ингээд сонгож тавьж аваад 3 жилийн хугацаатаар сургалт явуулсан нь бол энэ одоо өв ингээд орчин тогтнох акцентивчтэй байх бол энэ одоо нэлээд тийм боломж бол бүрдэж ирсэн.
So let me translate. In 20th century, the circular breathing was in a setting of traditional customs and festive events and weddings. So with influence of the political and also the social influence, the number of the practitioners were declined during the last 100 years. So actually the folk long song performance technique, the circular breathing is not belongs to any ethnic groups or any kinship. So it's like, it's more, it's in a common heritage, like belongs to all nation of Mongolia. So those practitioners who devoted themselves, they brought this heritage element alive until the 2011. So while that time we had just 10 practitioners. So in order to safeguard this heritage element, as before mentioned, same with the Biyelgee, the national inventory has done. And after that, the Mongolian government is, submitted the nomination file of circular breathing to UNESCO. And indeed, this has drawn a lot of attention of public and people willing to learn and practice this heritage element. And besides that, the government of Mongolia has implemented national program, which named it Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage in between of 2019 and 2021. And also, the government of Mongolia has submitted the request to get the international assistance from the ICH fund, and this assistance has allocated to the circular breathing. And as a result of this, the project sustaining and transmitting this circular breathing has implemented in between of 2019 and 2022. And as a result of this project, the project team has done national inventory, national registration and documentation of circular breathing in 14 provinces out of 21 provinces of Mongolia, and met with the practitioners and documented the old repertoire and also the musical instrument and limbe, and also the craft skills of making limbe as well. And as a result of this project, the number of practitioners increased because based on the repertoire and also the documentation and also the practitioners who invented along the country, the project team conducted apprenticeship training for 3 years. So each, like 10 practitioners, each practitioner trained 4 apprentices. And as a result of this, number of practitioners increased now, it's increased at 60. So in 2011, we had 10 practitioners, and in 2023, we had now 60 practitioners. So number of practitioners increased, and also the viability of this heritage element has enhanced. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. My last question of the day is now again addressed to Ms. Solomon. And this is a more general question. As on the UNESCO urgent safeguarding list, Mongolia has several other elements too, besides the 2 that we have discussed today. So could you please let us know about the national strategy for safeguarding ICH in need for urgent safeguarding? And do these elements follow the same process as the one we've discussed, or are there other aspects to it?
Thank you for the question. So our Mongolian national strategy for safeguarding of this urgent safeguarding needed ICH element is based on our law. So the law on the protection of cultural heritage was amended in 2005 and also 2014. along with the convention spirit and also the operational directives. So the government of Mongolia sees that safeguarding of this heritage element through the legal mechanism, in addition with involvement of the practitioners and also the local setting. So in order to safeguard the heritage elements listed in the urgent safeguarding list, the government of Mongolia has implemented several national programs for these heritage elements, and also the special budget allocated for enhancing the viability of this heritage element, and also formal and non-formal educational system is one of the pillar to safeguard this heritage element. So mostly the informal training is being used for sustaining and enhancing the viability of this heritage element. Besides that, the government of Mongolia has made regulations to supporting practitioners of this heritage element who are listed in the national list of intangible cultural heritage. So as a result of this, like several practitioners from this, not only Biyelgee and also circular bracing, but also 5 other ICH element practitioners, they included in the national list, and they get the money allocation, like support incentives, and also the government has implemented in last year. Government has implemented medical inspection, or kind of medical inspection for those for those practitioners who included in the national list of intangible cultural heritage. So being healthy, it means those practitioners can involve, interact, or they can share, or they can transmit their heritage. So in beforehand, we focused on the health issue of the practitioners, and out of 102 ICH practitioners in the national list, and 77 of them included in this health check. Yeah. So the government now, not only the government, also with the involvement of scholars and practitioners, we are elaborating the new law on the safeguarding of the intangible cultural heritage, and we are planning to submit this new law in coming December. So through this new draft law, we can improve the national strategy more than ever. So we hope we can do it in time, and next time we can share our experiences or what was our advantages and disadvantages on it. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Before we move on to the next part of our program, I want to say a huge thank you to all of you and to all the other presenters from across Asia Pacific region. In the next part of our program, I am hoping that the presenters, the performers, the bearers, the transmitters, the experts can actually speak to each other and ask each other questions that you may have about anything that they have spoken about that you may wish to have more details on. So the floor is open for all of you to speak with each other online.
Sorry, just one more highlight.
Yes.
For Mongolian case, because we got 2 international assistance from ICH Fund for these two elements. So the next step of Mongolia is to transfer from urgent safeguarding list to the representative list. So these two elements will be the pioneer in the transfer of Mongolian elements which were inscribed on the urgent safeguarding list to the representative list. Yeah.
Many congratulations on that. That is quite remarkable. Congratulations to everyone. Yeah. So if we can have everyone turning on their video, and then we can see each other. And if you all would like to ask each other questions, the floor is now available.
Okay, it was really exciting to have been interacted with all of the groups from Mongolia, from Kazakhstan. I have a thinking like this, that the traditional life and traditional culture is actually in most of the countries affected by politics. I don't know what is the situation in Mongolia or other countries, because so I was saying that most of the countries of the world are following the open market economy on neoliberalism theory for their economic growth in most cases, and their target is only economic growth. The government's target is not cultural development, which is very essential for social harmony, for keeping the cultural diversity intact or like this. So my question is, for every group, you know, that as I understand that, for example, Falconry, this is actually not only a cultural element, it is part of life, part of livelihood even. And other practices, they also reflect the life. When I was watching and listening to the narration about Vanuatu, I was visualizing the wall mud arts and soil arts of our Shantal community, of our some other indigenous communities living in Bangladesh also. So even the Baul song, it is practiced in India, in Nepal. So there could be government level or state level exchange mechanism, but we don't see any such initiative. For example, Falconry is in so many countries, I'd like to see. So there is a scope that the government of all those countries where Falconry is practiced to make a kind of joint venture. And there is the scope of joint venture in protecting Baul song even. The joint venture can be done in between India, Bangladesh, Nepal, and even the other states like Tripura, Assam, where Baul song is practiced. So my question is, in the context of government policy of economic growth only, what UNESCO can do and what the other groups who are here expect from each other, for example, from us, what we can expect from you about protection and living practice of the intangible cultural heritage. So this is not only about the element which is inscribed in UNESCO masterpieces list, but also about all the other things which make life vibrant and make the national identities unique or the community's identity unique. So what is the thinking of the other groups? If you please share.
Who would like to answer this question, please? From the other participants, would somebody like to respond to this question? Perhaps IRCI would like to respond to the question. What I also feel is that the question you have asked requires so much. Yes, please.
This is a very interesting question, but I think it's hard for me to answer here right now. If you leave your email, I will be happy to write a longer response.
Yes, that is a very good idea, because I too felt that answer involved a lot of reflection and therefore time to think and then respond.
Yes,
so it's a very good idea.
I need more time, yes.
Yes, if we could all exchange emails through IRCI and perhaps even carry forward this conversation, because we've been so fortunate that we have been brought together by IRCI. But having said that, are there any other questions that the presenters would like to ask each other? The floor is still open. Okay. So if there are no other questions from...
excuse me, I like to know about the situation of Limbe, the flute in Mongolian flute. You know that...
yes, so perhaps we can discuss our Mongolian colleagues to answer your question.
Yes, yes. I am asking the question in the context of Bangladesh, that the traditional musical instruments actually are facing threats from the Western instruments, which are massively used in media and even on the stage program. So what is the situation in Mongolia? And if there is no problem, fine. If there is the same situation of invasion of Western musical instruments, so what is your actually plan to protect these flute players and the flute in the situation of Western musical instruments invasion?
Okay, so let me translate your question to Mr. Tilsur. Бангладешийн кейс болохоор нөгөө барууны хөгжмийн зэмсгүүд олж ирээд одоо энэ Baul-ыг бид хөгжмөнтэй одоо хэрэглэх гэдэг юм уу ингээд тэгэхээр заарлагдаад байна. Дааш барууны хөгжмийн нөлөө бас их байгаад байна. Тэгэхээр Монголын кейс дээр гэхэд одоо Лимний битүүр сан дээр энэ үгийг хамгаалахын тулд эсвэл одоо бусад барууны байна уу энэ хөгжмийн зэмсгийн одоо хэрэглээ хэд их басантай улбаалаад гэдэг юм. Энэ үгийг хамгаалахад ер нь цааш яаж ажиллая гэж бодож байгаа вэ гэсэн. Тэгээд
ер нь яг барууны хөгжим орж ирснээрээ энэ үеийг одоо устгах ч юм уу те алдагдуулах нэг тийм нөлөө бол бол биш. Яг нь хүмүүсийн нөгөө сонсогчдын одоо хэрэглээний талаас ч юм уу те энэ талаасаа жоохон нөлөөлдөг байж магадгүй. Одоо бол ингээд энэ одоо өв боломжит өв соёл зад илүү тэмдэглэж ирж байгаа ийм нөхцөл байдал бол чинь Монголд бол бас байж таа. Энэ талаараа бол бас ингээд дэлгэрээд боломжтой явах хэрэгтэй. Хоёр дахь юм бол ер нь бол олон нийтэд энэ одоо өв ийм ахалтай өв гэдэг чинь энэ юугаар нэлээд танигдаж зөвхөн Монголд одоо энэ бол юм чухал арга барил маа гэдэг бусад илүү нөгөө Европын бусад илүү хөгжмөд ашигтай арга гэдэг барилаас нь хэрэг хэрэгжиж дүүх талаас нь энэ уламжлалыг болсон гэсэн үг нь илүү тийм илэрч байгаа учраас тэр талаас боломжтой.
Тэгээ хүү хандлагын жишээг хэлчих юм.
Тийм. Яг одоо тэгээд энэ өвлөө уламжлагчид маань өөр язгуур соёлтой хамтраад ингээд дэлхийд нэг соёл урлагийг гаргах. Энэгээр энэ хөгжмөөс амжуулаад энэ өв уламжлалаас болчихлоо. Энэ байдал бас нэлийн бас олон улсын шинжтэй болж байгаа
юм. So compared to the Western musical instrument or innovation, as you described the innovation of the Western musical instrument, there is less impact or less influence in Mongolian traditional musical instrument because Mongolians, they proud the traditional musical instrument more, and so there is, of course, there are Western musical instruments and also those amateur players or those like who interests this Western musical instrument, Western music. There are a lot of people, but most of the Mongol people, they respect and they proud. They feel very proud from traditional musical instrument. So we have less impact on it. Yeah, and why Mongolians in recent years, they respect and they proud this traditional musical instrument. The reason is because we promoted this heritage element to the public constantly, frequently. So as a result of this long time promotion activities since 2011, when the traditional musical technique, the circular breathing, came into the age of the urgent safeguarding list, within these 12 years, we were continuously promoting this heritage element. So it came in the center or focus of the public. So people, they really appreciate, they really proud this heritage event now. And on the other hand, also practitioners of circular breathing, they involved in the other like types of groups of, they started interacting with the other musical bands or groups. So, for instance, the Mongolian rock band Fu. Mr. Nim Johnson, actually, he is a practitioner of circular breathing, but he is also one of the vocal singer and also musician in the Mongolian rock band Fu, which has now tournament in USA and also in Europe. So in combination with the traditional musical instrument and also the Mongolian Mongolian version of the rock style, like Mongolian rock ku, it's a new genre and new like way of how to say. Maybe if you watch the Hu band, you will understand what I wanted to see. It's like Mongolian traditional musical instruments, traditional technique of music. It's combined with the rock genre, and then there is a new vibe, a new feeling, which inspiring people, not Mongolians, but also the world people. They are very much enjoying on it. So sometimes in a combination or like interacting with the other like genre of music, it also helps to sustain and enhance the viability of heritage itself. So Yeah. The answer is fine for you?
Yes.
Thank you.
Very happy actually to know about the passion of Mongolian people to their own culture, and especially fascination to this traditional flute and flute playing. Yes, it is almost the same that in Bangladesh also some of the young generation musical groups are using the traditional music instrument and traditional manner of music performances. But yes, the situation of Limbe in Mongolia can be a very good case study, I think, for the countries like Bangladesh, India, or others, where the traditional instruments and traditional tune are in threat, actually. So this we can do bilaterally, or even, I don't know, maybe IRCI can also take initiative to share this type of excellent case stories with the other countries for education. Yes. So thank you. Thank you, Mongolian team.
Are there any other questions between the participants? Please feel free to ask.
Thank you so much to the question of Bangladesh. It was our pleasure to see you and sharing our experiences with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Because we have one from the audience, and this is a question that's actually addressed to every participant. So I would really like it if, you know, the answers came from different parts of the world. And the question is that, what do you think about countries' element situations after what measures are lacking, or what aspects should be reinforced in the 2003 convention for the effective safeguarding of ICH for a sustainable future? Let me repeat it. What are your suggestions for aspects that are lacking in the convention, and what would you recommend for the future? So, would Bangladesh like to start? And then we can ask the other countries.
Yes, we can do. We can do based on our own experience.
Yes.
The lack is actually, I like to say, two-sided lack. One lack is from the state party, and another lack is from the practitioners' side. From state party, you know that there is no national budget for protection of not only Baul song, any kind of ICH elements. After UNESCO's intervention and UNESCO convention signed by Bangladesh government, there are some initiatives like establishment of cultural institutes and other things. And what happens, the educated people are there as responsible persons, and they have a kind of gap with the practitioners who are basically living in the rural settings, and most of them are not literate, I like to say, because we think that ICH practitioners are educated in their own way. They may not have the scriptural literacy or like this. Secondly, the practitioners are sometimes rigid to give up their own way and come up with the contemporary context to make necessary transformation in the performances. One thing is the lack of knowledge that cultural elements, ICH or everything, or any folk practices must change in course of time because of the change of politics, because of the change of, social structure, because of the change of agriculture production system and many other things. So what can be done? We, Bangladesh team, think that the government who actually recognizes constitutionally that ICH elements are the carrier of our identity, national identity, identity of our people. But practically, they do not invest on protection of these elements, which are actually the major tools for keeping the social harmony, for keeping the gender equality, for elimination of the patriarchal system in the social and administrative structure. So the gaps can be identified with the two-way communication between the duty bearers and the practitioners. First of all, the parties should minimize this gap. In decision making about ICH, I just want to conclude with one sentence that the gap between practitioners and duty bearers should be minimized first of all. And in decision making of ICH protection measures, the practitioners' participation and their opinion should be given most importance. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for these very practical suggestions. Would our colleagues from Vanuatu like to speak now and give us their thoughts? Colleagues from Vanuatu, would you like to speak? Or perhaps colleagues from, yes, please. The floor is yours.
I shall give it to my colleague to do more remarks on this topic.
Okay, so each of a country in the world, we're so unique of our own in instruments, in whatever that we do in our own. But as for us here in Vanuatu, some of the things that we're using, like traditional bamboo flutes, most younger generations, they are no longer interested in. So somehow we have to have a way to protect in our own. With the suntrain, because they are very unique of our own. Like in most of the times, like we're teaching here, it's very hard to be pushing it onto the government of each of our country. But here in Vanuatu, we were thinking hardly to be going forward to find some way to promote some very, very unique thing of all, because otherwise we'll be losing them, because few people are living now. The moment they'll be going, it means we are losing one archive or one library. So it means each of us will have to think harder, think deeper enough to be asking you as a UNESCO or IRCI to be promoting us in one way to recognize some of the things that we are thinking to be doing it, but we can't do it. But how could you come in to promote some of the original things, like many bamboo fruits, like in Vanuatu, we're having around 8 different kinds of fruits, but we don't know how, including suntrain, we don't know how to promote it in a way that younger generation will take it over for the next generation to be coming, but this should be a living culture, as all of us are expecting to be having. Our population is very small, about 300,000 plus, only climbing up to 400,000. So we don't know how to be climbing, but I think the best thing we should be doing is to encourage each of our countries in the whole Vanuatu to support us in one way or another, so that because our culture is very unique of our own, to help us in one way or another, to keep it in a same standard, or to promote in a way that we'll be proud of in the future to becoming and beyond.
Thank you, sir, for your very well-expressed thoughts, and which really need, I think, working on. Thank you very much for that. Would our colleagues from Mongolia like to add something to the discussion?
Yes, sure. We have some comments for future. So every country has their own specific experiences on the safeguarding of intangible cultural heritage, which is described on the 3 lists. Yeah. So first, we need to improve the sharing experiences or exchanging information on our experiences on such heritage elements, like specific platforms, just for sharing what kind of measures or policies taken to that heritage element to enhance the viability. So experience is always very important and best practice for us. So I would suggest there should be like a specific platform for those UNESCO and private heritage elements and its safeguarding associated practices and experiences should be informed, reported, or just like sharing. Yeah. And yeah, this is my suggestion. And 2 of my colleagues, they have some thoughts. Yeah.
За 2009 онд одоо би биелгээг ялтан галт бүгд ингээд бүртгэсэн тэрнээс хойш авчулсан одоо тэр Монгол Улсын засгийн газрын бодлогын талаар би дээр ярьсан. Тэрний хүрээлэл дотор юу олгогдсон бэ гэхээр яг одоо тэр одоо Монгол улсад улсын нутаг дэвсгэрээр 6 улс сахны бүлэгт 52 төрлийн бие биелгээ байна одоо. Өнгөрсөн жилийн судалгаагаар бол ингэж гарсан байна. За тэгэхээр энэ одоо 52 төрлийн бие биелгээний цаана байгаа одоо тэр мэдлэг ойлголтыг түгэх гэдэг асуудал харьцангуй дээр ер нь хүндэгдэггүй байсан. Тэгээд одоо энэ одоо хэрэгжиж байгаа ЮНЕСКОгийн Монгол бие биелгээг хөгжүүлэн уламжлуулах орчин тогтоох чадварыг хөгжүүлэх гэдэг энэ төслийн брэнд бол энэ мэдлэг ойлголтыг түгэх гэдэг асуудлыг маш сайн оруулж ирж байгаа маань. За олгогдсон юм юу байсан бэ гэхээр бие биелгээ гэдэг одоо энэ бүжгийн одоо соёл бол өөрөө тэр ихид гэдэг хөгжим, ховшуур гэдэг хөгжим, суур гэдэг хөгжимтэйгээ нэг цул юм аа. Бие биелгээ байхгүй бол тэр хөгжмүүд байхгүй. Тэр одоо цуур хөгжим, ихид хөгжим, ховшуур хөгжим байхгүй бол бие биелгээ байхгүй л гэж ингэж ойлгохгүй ийм одоо амин холбоотой ийм одоо соёл байна. Тэгэхээр цаашдаа ер нь бол энэ бие биелгээг хөгжимтэй хамтрах судлах шаардлагатай байна гэдгийг би одоо нэгдүгээр шатнд хийсэн хэрэг судалгаанаас бол олж харсан. Яг тэр одоо туршлагыг одоо тэр бие биелгээний туршлагыг ноотож боддоггүй байна. Яг тэгвэл яг бүгдээ ажиллах юм шиг болдог. Юугаар нь яддаг вэ гэхээр тэр ихний татж байгаа одоо энэ ном гэж хүндлэн ингэж татдаг юм байна. За тэр номны таталтаа тэр олон одоо 52 төрлийн бие биелгээ хоорондоо ярьдаг юм байна. Тийм учраас цаашдаа яг энэ зөвцөөр тухайн одоо үеийн уламжлагчийг яг харж биелж сурч яг харж байгаа татаж сурахгүй юм бол одоо нот хараад юм уу тиймэрхүү байдлаар тоглож сурна гэдэг бол байхгүй юм байна гэдгийг одоо нэг энэ ЮНЕСКОгийн төслийн нэгдүгээр шатн дээр бид нар гэрээ судалгаа хийхдээ бас энийг бодж та. Тэгээд энийг одоо цаашдаа хийхэд одоо орхигдсон бас нэг юм ажил байгаа байна гэж бодож байна.
So let me briefly translate. So the holistic approach is very important in the safeguarding of intangible cultural heritage. So as before we mentioned, the Biyelgee is not only the dance movement itself; it's the rituals, customs and costumes and cultural spaces, the musical instruments, and all the repertoire. Also, the memory of those elders who connect with their ancestors. So we really need to be careful and cautious on on safeguarding of intangible cultural heritage and always respect the community and practitioners and try to be heritage safeguard, try to be holistic in the future. Yeah, and also the information, knowledge dissemination is very important in the safeguarding of intangible cultural heritage. So we all should be careful and also pay attention on the knowledge dissemination of ICH. Yeah. Yeah. And Mr. Silsura has asked very brief comments.
Лимний урдынхаа цааш яг юу ер нь л яг энэ үг бол өөрөө одоо чанартай тогтвортой өгч байна. Ийм яг тийм бол чанаргүй бол
чанар гэдэг нь юу гэж
чанар гэдэг маань одоо тухайн өвлөн өвлөмжч маань яг энэ үгээр байна. Үнцэнтэй байдаг. 10 онд бүртгэж бүрийн 10 өвлөн өвлөмжч бол яг тэрүүгээр амьдчихсэн тэрүүгээр бас ингээд юм багшин төгсөж одооны хүмүүс бол ихэнх нь нөгөө өөр зүйл хийгээд өөр сонирхол одоо өвчлүүлсэн учраас энийг хатаж хамгаалж илүү сэтгэл тавиан гэж тийм энэтэй холбогдсон тийм үйл ажиллагаач бодгийн тогтмол юм байхгүй ингээд чанаргүй тоолт хийдэг гэсэн тийм бол эрсдэл.
Тэгэхээр яг гэсэн.
Тэгэхээр тогтвортой хөгжил маань илүү тийм бодгийн төвшинтэй зааш тэр хүмүүсээ хамтсан.
So Mr. Silsura said that value of the intangible cultural heritage is the key of viability. So in order to keep the value and its importance in the community or in the public, we need to keep promoting, keep disseminating the knowledge of knowledge associated with the heritage element. And when people get educated and get knowledge about the heritage, value can constantly exist. Then when value exists, the heritage will be practiced continuously. So we should be also focused on the value of heritage itself. So, yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Is our colleague from Kazakhstan available to participate? Madam? Well,
we don't have any question right now.
Any suggestions for changes to the convention? Any thoughts about the future? Anything you want to say, or would?
It's too hard for me answer right now.
No problem. Thank you so much. And now it is my great pleasure to say a huge thank you to all the participants of this seminar today. I personally have learned so much from each and every one of you. And what resounds to me again and again is how we are all connected. We are connected by our humanity. We are actually connected by our differences. And we are connected by our understanding that while we are different, we all are linked through culture. So a very big thank you to IRCI, to all of you for joining us today and for taking so much time and effort to contribute your thoughts. I know that your reflections will go a very long way in feeding in to the changes and perhaps nuancing further the 2003 convention. So I thank you all very much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ritu Sethi, and then all the practitioners and experts of the wonderful conversation and discussion. Now, to officially close the special online seminar, I would like to invite our Director General Daisuke Machida for his closing remarks.
Well, dear participants, thank you for joining us for the last couple of hours. And above all, I'd like to express my biggest thanks to the practitioners and experts of ICH who made wonderful presentations today. Generally speaking, it's rare for us to learn about ICH in other countries directly from its practitioners or supporting group. So I think all the participants were able to benefit from just listening to the presentations. And in addition, through the Q&A sessions with the presenters, we were able to share examples of the effect brought by the inscription of ICH on the representative list, as well as challenges and efforts in safeguarding ICH at risk or in danger of disappearing. I hope that at this seminar, all the participants have found some ideas or clues for better safeguarding of ICH in their respective field. Finally, let me thank you once again for your participation and contribution.
We thank the moderator, all the practitioners and experts, and online participants for joining us today. So this concludes the special seminar. Thank you very much for your attendance and have a nice day ahead.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
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 Goodbye. Apa sih, Zima?